We now turn to our first award of the evening. The Distinguished Fellow Award is based on outstanding personal achievement and significant contributions to the Eisenhower Fellowship's global network. Tonight, we honor two exceptional fellows from Africa, Miatta Gbanya of Liberia and Nuru Mugambi of Kenya. As you saw in our video just before dinner, Nuru sadly is no longer with us. She passed away last fall, but her legacy lives on in the life and work of Eisenhower Fellowships in her country, across Africa, and around the world. First, let me tell you a little bit about Miatta. She flew from her current United Nations assignment for the World Health Organization in Kabul, Afghanistan, to be with us tonight in Philadelphia. That's just par for the course for Miatta. For many years, she's been a bright, shining beacon of light in a world of too much darkness. From her extraordinary work, helping eradicate Ebola in Liberia, to her tireless efforts to combat infectious diseases in East Africa, to her most recent years of courageous, selfless service in war-torn Afghanistan, she is the embodiment of what it means to be an Eisenhower Fellow. In recognizing her, the Executive Committee of the EF Board noted that she's been an extraordinarily active, engaged fellow, attending many EF events from remote corners of the world and regularly participating to lend her medical expertise to other fellows during the COVID pandemic. Despite the personal hardship involved, Miatta traveled on her own to join fellows at the 2017 Malaga Global Conference on the Future of Work, at the 2018 meeting in Philadelphia, at the first Africa Regional Conference in Kigali, Rwanda the following year, and at EF's 70th Anniversary World Forum in San Francisco in 2023. Has it been a year and a half since San Francisco? Wow. There have been only 11 Liberian fellows in EF history, the first in 1955 and the most recent this past spring. With only 5 living Liberian fellows, there is no formal Liberia chapter. Yet, thanks to Miatta, they remain a small but robust group, engaged with EF headquarters and in constant communication with other fellows across the region and around the world. Her presence at the head of this proud group was instrumental in EF receiving a magnificent $1.25 million capital gift from Connie and Betsy Williams and the Hess Foundation in 2022. That gift funded the annual Walter T. Gwenegali Fellow in Healthcare from West Africa, preferably Liberia. The first fellow from his nation, the late Dr. Gwenegali went on to become Liberia's Minister of Health and Miatta's mentor. Later, he personally recommended Miatta for the Eisenhower Fellowship. He would be very proud tonight. 2 of Dr. Gwenegale's children are here with us tonight. His son, Walter Gwenegale Jr., and his daughter, Carmen Gwenegale Ogoli. And Connie and Betsy Williams are here as well. In honoring Miatta, we honor the legacy of Dr. Gwenegali. On the other side of Africa, in East Africa, Nuru was the dynamic chapter head of the Eisenhower Fellows in Kenya, where under her leadership, the Kenyan Fellows experienced the greatest growth and engagement in their history. As director of the Kenya Bankers Association, Nuru successfully led the nation's 46-member banks to adopt progressive standards and practices that promote public engagement, sustainable finance, and environmentally conscious growth agendas. From her Eisenhower Fellowship, Nuru designed and implemented the Kenya Green Bond, and small and medium-sized enterprise programs as part of the Kenya Bankers Association's strategic plan. The Kenya Green Bond Program instituted a regulatory framework for green bond issuance in Kenya. It was the first of its kind in East and Central Africa. Because of her role, Nuru was invited to join a presidential delegation to London, where Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta officiated at the listing of the Acorn Green Bond on the London Stock Exchange. This was the first time a Kenyan bond was issued on the LSE. Nuru modeled her small and medium-sized enterprise program after the Small Business Administration program by USA fellow Jack Bianco. Her initiative now has been replicated by other banks in Kenya. Nuru's commitment to the values of EF and her impact on her nation were underscored in the last 2 years, when she was named a finalist in 2023 and again in 2024 for the Hovey Award, which recognizes projects of powerful impact by Eisenhower Fellows. After her fellowship, Nuru was instrumental in organizing the 2019 Africa Regional Conference in Kigali, EF's first gathering ever on the African continent. Following a long battle with autoimmune disease, Nuru passed away last fall, devastating her family, fellows around the world, and all who knew her. Her award is posthumous. I'd like to call to the podium Eisenhower Fellowship's chairman, former U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert M. Gates, Miatta Gbanya, and Nuru's daughter, Lila Makena Mugambi, and Nuru's sister, Christina Mugambi, for the presentation of the 2025 Distinguished Fellow Award.
It gives me great pleasure to honor two exceptional Eisenhower Fellows tonight, Miatta Gbanya of Liberia and Nuru Mugambi of Kenya. We celebrate Miatta and Nuru tonight for their remarkable professional achievements, their exemplary engagement with EF, and exceptional leadership in their respective countries. This is the first time this honor has been bestowed upon African Eisenhower Fellows. Miatta and Nuru were close friends, both members of the inaugural EF 2016 Africa Regional Program. On the screen behind me, you can see them standing with each other with President Obama in the Rose Garden at the White House when their group visited them in the fall of that year. Miatta and Nuru have contributed greatly to the growth and influence of the EF network in Africa and inspired the EF Global Network with their selflessness, their courage, and their dedication to giving back and helping others. For their outstanding professional achievements, their exemplary engagement with Eisenhower Fellowships, their exceptional leadership of the Eisenhower Fellows chapters in Liberia and Kenya, we are proud to present Miatta Gbanya and Nuru Mugambi with the Distinguished Fellow Award. Here to accept Nuru's posthumous award is her sister, Christina Mugambi, and their daughter, Lila Makena.
Good evening, everyone. I need to take a deep breath. I stand before you in honor of the many people who have guided my journey and put me on this stage tonight. My co-recipient and friend, the late Nuru Mugambi, my parents and guidance, Mr. Stephen T.M. Gbanya, George and Teresa Dixon, and Dr. Nilda Solomon Dennis. My role model, Dr. Walter T. Goningale Sr. My hero, General Colin Powell, the late chairman of Eisenhower Fellowships, who inspired the 2016 Africa program. Thank you very much. Today is a bittersweet day as Nuru, Dr. Walter T. Goningale, our former Minister of Health from Liberia, and General Colin Powell are not with us. And I accept this award in their name. In so doing, I want to recognize the children of Dr. Walter T. Goningale. Walter G., you have to stand up. So Walter G. and Carmen are in the room, but I also want to thank Mrs. Goningale, who's not here today, and Raymond, for sharing this moment with me and then traveling from afar just to be here tonight. To sharing your dad, my no-nonsense boss, a father, and also a mentor. Tonight, I remember meeting Nuru in 2016 and also meeting her for the last time in Atlanta and seeing her on her hospital bed at Aga Khan Hospital in Kenya, where my dear Nuru that I knew I just wanted to hug her for the last time. My heartfelt gratitude to her sister, Christina, and my lovely niece, Makina, for giving your all to take care of Nuru. To your family, you did an amazing job. It meant the world to me when you made it possible for me to travel from Afghanistan to Liberia and on to Kenya to just have those 20 minutes with Nuru in the ICU. Asante sana. Nuru and Dr. G were forces to reckon with. And if we just had many of them in the world, this chaotic world of ours today, the world would be a better place. What a long journey for me. I was born in Phoebe Hospital in Liberia, in the very hospital that Dr. G worked when he became a fellow. At that time, he was a Minister of Health. I consider myself a child of many parents, and I've lived in many countries. As you can see, I came from Afghanistan. I've overcome many hardships to make it through Liberia's 14 years of brutal civil war. But through it all, I never gave up my dream of education. I pursued a career in nursing and public health that stemmed from a tragedy within my family where during the crisis, I lost a sister to malnutrition, and I also lost another sister to cholera. These diseases I'm on the front line for. Today, I stand here as a beacon of hope for my family and other women that are inspired by my story, after I provided leadership on the front lines of Ebola epidemic in Liberia and continuing to serve during the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. My humanitarian journey has taken me out of my comfort zone and across borders, reaching people with basic, essential healthcare services, breaking barriers of gender, race, religion, and culture. And in my entire adult life, I have worked to build lasting bridges with communities in some of the world's most challenging places, such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Sudan, South Sudan, and most recently in Afghanistan. I am a proud Eisenhower Fellow. Eisenhower Fellowships have been on the has remained the footprints on our continent right from the start, with 273 fellows from Africa, the first from Ghana in 1954, and the second from Liberia in 1955. And currently there are 11 from Liberia, and we serve as the bridge between the old and the new generation of Eisenhower Fellows in Liberia. I'm overwhelmed, honored, and deeply grateful to be a co-recipient of the 2025 Eisenhower Fellowships Distinguished Fellows Award, the first time this honor has been bestowed upon an African fellow. Can you hear some noise? My dear friend Nuru was a shining star and lived a productive life of service to others. As her friends and family, we take great pride in that. Tonight, Nuru and I share this award with all the diverse, dynamic duo from the continent of Africa. And especially with the fellows from our 2016 Africa program. Well done, 2016, folks. Now, from the side of the world where I work, women like Nuru and I might never reach their full potential. Tonight, I am filled with appreciation to my mom, who could not be here tonight, Mrs. Gbanya, my partner, who always bear with me in the many places I go, my children, my special guests, Uncle Piu, Auntie Mara, Auntie Nana. Thank you for coming to share this with me. For Jacob, who permitted me to come for the fellowship, my staff at the Ministry of Health in Liberia, who held the fort while I was on fellowship, thank you very much. To Bill Martin and all the others that supported me, thank you very much. I want to give a special thanks to Conan and Betsy William for the wonderful $1.2 million capital gift from the Hess Foundation for EF in 2022 to fund the annual Watoti Gweningale Fellow in Healthcare in Liberia. I'm also proud to say one of them is seated next to you. Thanks to George, Erin, Catherine, and the entire EF family for believing in us as fellows. Thank you, a very big thank you to my program officer. Where's Carrie? Give Carrie a yay! For supporting me through all my fellowship. And I will close up by saying Archbishop Desmond Tutu said, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good that put together that overwhelms the world. As an Eisenhower Fellow, even in the midst of uncertainty in the world, I call on all of us to continue to do our bits in the world. Thank you very much.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Lila McKenna Mugambi, and I stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude as I accept this award on behalf of my mother, Nuru Mugambi. While I wish more than anything that she could be here to receive it herself, I know that she's with us in spirit, and I'm honored to be a part of this moment. She modeled perseverance, integrity, kindness, dedication, and unwavering faith, not just through her words, but the way she lived and the way she led. I know she would be incredibly humbled and honored by this recognition today. These past 2 days have been an amazing experience, so thank you, Eisenhower Fellowship. Not only getting to meet new people, but also meeting people that knew my mother and getting to know her not just as my mother, but as an Eisenhower Fellow. And I also went to the Eisenhower house, and I saw my mother's photos in the house, and it felt a little good knowing that a part of her will forever be in that house and will live on in that house. On behalf of my family and all who loved her, thank you for celebrating my mother's legacy. This award is not just a recognition of her achievements, but a reminder of the love and dedication that she shared with the world. I accept this honor, this amazing award, in her honor with gratitude and deep appreciation. Thank you.
So you can see between the two of us who's the stronger. I'll try and power through. Angaza means to shine in Kiswahili. It's really fitting that Nuru, whose name means celestial light, spent her years on earth illuminating the path for those around her. While she was participating in the Eisenhower Fellowship Program, she birthed the idea for Angaza Awards to spotlight the many talented women across the African continent making significant impact in the financial services sector. In 2020, recognizing a Kairos moment in the midst of COVID, the first cohorts of 10 women were recognized. Over the last 4 years, 50 women from 17 countries have been recognized, and on May 22nd, next week, the 2024 cohorts will be celebrated. Angaza Forums grew as a response to the Angaza Awards program, offering knowledge sharing, collaborative engagement, and capacity building in alignment with the Africa Agenda 2063 and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. My sister envisioned Angaza as more than just a series of events and awards. She saw it as a lasting movement for transformation in the financial sector and was working on launching a manifesto for African women in finance before her hospitalization. While we're still coming to terms with her absence, thankfully, Nuru shared a blueprint that will guide us as we continue to realize her vision. We welcome the partnership and involvement of EF Fellows as we embark on the next steps of this important work. Please reach out to Catherine Leventhal to connect with us. Thank you.